Welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hello there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's TV Reality Cast. We are covering Love Island US Season 3, Chris, Episode 4. Now, only in Episode 4, Chris, but things are starting to come to the boil, aren't they? Where do you want to start today?
Well, Dave, I couldn't believe this episode because this mirrored not only the fact that it was as long as the fucking Bachelorette and Bachelor, which was nonsense in nearly 2 hours. Also, it reminded me very much so of the football game that we were subjected to last night, Dave. It was a game of two halves. So the first half, as in the football, England, Josh, I was all in support of Dave. Shannon was the big bad. Then it switched and I was all for Shannon and Josh was not. So Shannon, for me, became Italy then, Dave. Terrible analogy, but...
You've got some fucking shit analogies in the past, I think this is up there. That is one way to crowbar in some comments about the football.
Anyway, so Josh comes back from his date with Amy, and Shannon has got a face like a boil of piss, Dave. She's absolutely... fucking pan of piss. She was having none of it. She was completely disrespectful. It didn't help that Amy and Will started speaking in fucking Spanish and everyone was like, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's disrespectful. He made the audacity, Dave, not of showing her the shower and showering her and soaping her down, not getting in bed with her to make sure the bed was fucking... Yeah, not making sure that he got in bed with her and made sure that her side of the bed was fucking warm and giving her a cuddle just to get her in or anything. No, he made the mistake of showing her the kitchen, Dave, and he showed her the fridge. And for Shannon, you show someone the fridge and not come speak to me, it's all over, Dave. So I at this point, I was like, are you actually for real, Shannon? Like, she's like, she wanted reassurance. I get it. I said in the last episode, she got my respect because she was open and said, look, I was jealous. That's just the way I deal with things and that. No problem. But it was like me. And when Amy was talking to everybody, introducing herself, and she just openly, I thought it was totally disrespectful and just childish, boring. And I'm like, wow. But at that point, Dave, the reality radar was switched on and I'm like, here we go, people, here we go. So
yeah, exactly. Because if it's in real life, you're like, oh, you fucking horrible, nasty person. I don't want to be anywhere near you. For reality TV, it's like, fucking get in. This is where it's going to get good. You know, a little bit of passive aggressive sniping is what we enjoy.
Oh, but Dave, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. But this episode for me epitomized why the girls, the ladies, are just all over the place. This was almost a UK switcheroo from the guys. Like the way the UK contestants are just fucking stupid. There's 3 or 4 in this today that for me, don't come out of it very well. Josh certainly didn't come out well at all. At the start he did, and he was apologising. I'm thinking, what are you apologising for? And I think Giovanni got it right with Shannon. He went, she's just a princess who wants her own way. That's what he said. And that's exactly how I felt about her at that point. And I'm like, wow, what is going on? And Shannon was really pissed with him. And she said, didn't she? Was I wrong? Yeah. Am I going to apologise? No. Do I regret it? No. And I'm thinking, well, if you know you're wrong, just back down and go, look, I was a bit pissed off, a bit jealous. You should have come for me a bit more. Even though I don't think he did anything wrong, I get it. I totally get it, Dave. We all have our jealousy points. It's just a natural human nature. It's just human nature. But I mean, what did you think of all that? Because I thought it was brilliant to watch.
It was great to watch. And Shannon's kind of doing what she said in her opening VT. How many times, Chris, when we get someone coming into these shows and they say, I'm going to mix things up, I'm going to tread on toes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm a bit of a diva, and they get in there and they're like, "You all right? Oh, sorry, can I pull you for a chat? I don't want to step on anyone's toes or anything." And they're full of shit. Shannon is doing exactly what she said she was going to do. She is a bit of a diva. She does like the drama. And, with where the episode ended up, it's questionable whether Josh did anything wrong. Now, again, in the real world, of course he did something wrong. He fucked up a bit there. If you're just looking at this plainly, and I'm speaking in a slightly meta way because I was catching up. So Haley and Lauren had been chatting away in real time. So we're watching it a little bit after. And so I was catching up on what they were saying there. And there's apparently there's these techniques that Shannon's working to, on how to manipulate men. That's the theory at the moment. And Josh is kind of reading that actually she does like a bit of the drama. She doesn't want the safe option. So I just wonder, we'll see how the next episode plays out. But he's still in the villa, isn't he? So he didn't do it that wrong.
No, he didn't. And I mean, look, that bit was a bit of like, what is going on? And this is what I'm saying about the guys. Fucking Jeremy, Dave. He's talking to Giovanni. He's like, I'm not feeling it. The chat. We could see this coming a mile off with Amy, that he was going to do something. As soon as she come in, you could see it. He backed off from Trina completely. But I tell you what, Dave, what a shithouse he was. He went on the date with Amy and he didn't have the bollocks to tell Trina that he kissed her. And he did the same thing that the guys have been called out for. He has a chat with Trina afterwards and says, basically friend zones her, but doesn't have the bollocks to tell her, but tells someone else who inadvertently tells Kasha, which is Christian, who, what a great friend he is, by the way, Dave, fucking Tusby's mate. And he's there. I thought he was a sly ass Christian. You did it with Shannon later on, bit of the old, I wouldn't treat you like that chat. One of them, I treat you completely different. And I'm like, oh, you're a bit of a snake, mate. But
oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely he is. He's, in my opinion, he's a proper snake. But I can see why the girls get annoyed because it wasn't just fucking Jeremy. I mean, what did you think of that date, Dave? Because, two good-looking people. Jeremy's, his hair is immaculate. And I just felt he was a bit snaky today.
Yeah, he's a fake nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Comes in before he was going on his date with Trina. He's all kind of coy, saying, well, he comes across maybe a bit like Connor, but he's kind of like going on the date with Amy, and then he's like, Trina who? So I did think we said that I didn't really see anything with Jeremy and Trina long term. I didn't think. When I said long term, I was thinking at least a week. I wasn't thinking the next episode. But she had to kind of dig it out of him that they kissed and stuff. So, yeah, not really liking Jeremy, I have to say. A little bit snaky, a little bit, he's obviously at the recoupling, he's coupled up with Amy now. But, I think every new bloke that's going to come in is going to, take a shine to Amy. So, he's going to have his hands full.
Literally,
but it sounds wrong. He fucking wishes. He's going to have his work cut out. Let me put it that way. It sounds a bit better.
Yeah.
To keep hold of her.
No, and I agree because obviously Jeremy comes back, and when he comes back and he's like, the old classic dog with two dicks again. And then you've got Will gets picked. Now, obviously, he tells Kira that, there is something there. He goes on the date. He's very open with Amy. Nothing happens. He's not like Jeremy who's steamed in there. He says he's attracted to her. He wants to get to know her, but he is happy with Kira. He comes back. Dave, Kira gone completely. She was dead upset. She's like, he's just said, look, there is an attraction there. I'm happy with you. And Dave, she's all in. The passion between him. He went and brought her a drink and stuff, did he, in the morning? And she was all over him. And they're so passionate, the pair of them. I think, Dave, look, let's be honest, that fucking headboard is going to be rocking when they get out of the fucking villa. They're still together. Two very sexually active people by the looks of it.
Yeah, so he made us some avocado toast, didn't he? So very nice. Quite like that myself. I couldn't work out what she was all upset by. Was it just the idea that she might be a bit vulnerable and he might stray? I don't know. She seemed to overreact a little bit, because I was trying to figure out, has he said something there that maybe just not picked up on? That, he's like having a Jeremy type talk with her, or I just didn't get it, because it seemed to me he was just being open and honest, and then she just got all upset, and I was scratching my head a little bit, if I'm honest, at that bit. But obviously, he redeems it further, or not further, redeems himself. He has another chat with her and basically says, look, right now I'm all in with you, kind of thing. And she seems a lot more comfortable with what he said the second time. But I just didn't, the nuance of it was a little bit lost on me as to how that was so different to the first time. I didn't think he gave her any cause to be so upset.
No, he's been dead down the line. And I tell you what, Dave, another of the guys shocked me here. I've not seen this coming as well. There's been a bit of chat, but I haven't seen it. And I thought he was sly, but he's not been picked up on. He's Cinco with Trina. He's with Kasha. I know Trina's got to find somebody to stay, someone who she's compatible with. And we find out later who she picks. But he was like, I'm all in. I really want to explore it with you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, right. And I'm thinking, well, is there no girl code now? Is this gone? Is it just every woman, every man for himself? Which, makes for better TV, Dave. Let's be honest. It does make for better TV. They're all fucking loved up and, basically dry humping each other for fucking best part of 6 weeks. It's fucking rubbish TV. But I was a bit shocked by that. And that conversation come up twice in this episode between her and Cinco. So I don't know. I don't think Cash has picked up on that yet. You're like that, Dave. You're a bit shocked that the guy who flew out to Hawaii without telling his girlfriend he was going on Love Island is playing off two girls against each other. I'm taking her face value here. Oh, God.
You know what? Oh, God. It wasn't said in context with you, but on the Discord chat, I think Lauren had mentioned a phrase that I'd completely forgot that I think is relevant here. And that is a broken clock is right twice a day. # reality radar.
I know she wants me to respond, Dave, but I've not watched it at the time. So I think I didn't get the context, but now I do. So I say this with love, Lauren. I'm not going to swear, but there you go. The second was you. But anyway, no, honestly, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, Dave.
I think it's disappointing it's so quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
And especially Cache and Trina had that open kind of conversation, which I thought was great to actually see it. You had two black girls who were actually discussing, it is difficult being a black woman on these types of shows. And so they've got that kind of camaraderie, that togetherness. And Cinco's just sort of planting himself right in the middle. So I'm interested where that goes. But yeah, he does come across as such a nice guy, doesn't he? But, he does seem to want to play off or play the field a bit.
He does, Dave. And I tell you what, for me, this was the oh my God moment of the series. So we get BabeWatch and, play on BabeWatch, Dave. Me and you love a bit of the Hasselhoff. So
do you ever watch that in the past, Chris? Just
BabeWatch.
Catch it occasion. BabeWatch.
BabeWatch. Well, I've
catch it on a Saturday every now and then.
Every Saturday with my door shut, and while I watch Gladiators and then watch fucking BabeWatch. Yeah. No wonder I've had shoulder surgery over the years. But anyway, and he didn't have a lock on my bedroom when I was a kid, Dave. But there you go. But anyway, Pam, Camera Electra, all of them. I used to know all of them firsthand, Dave. Amazing. But anyway, let's move off my pubescent hormones, Dave. And you teed me right up for that one. But anyway, right. I've said that 3 times now. Just carry on, Chris. What I would say is it plays by type. So we get Corey. He goes in on Amy, actually, to sort of show her that he is interested. She was a bit off guard. She's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Will with Kira. We get Jeremy. He goes with Amy, which is fair enough. They've been on the date. It's looking like they're going to recouple. Christian with Olivia, and then we get Giovanni with Olivia as well. So she gets a couple of guys. Cinco with Kasha, but you see Trina, and I'm thinking, well,
she doesn't look happy, does she?
No, she didn't look happy, but I'm thinking, but surely, Trina, you know that he's got to. And that's that. Then I'll move on to them slightly. She speaks to Cinco after saying, I thought you were interested. He's like, yeah, but I've got more of a connection. We need to. And I'm thinking, wow, he is playing her like a fucking fiddler, Dave. He's absolutely got her where he wants her. So he sort of, if it goes tits up with Kasha, he'll be straight into between Trina's fucking silk sheets, I think. So that's it. He's definitely know what he's doing. But then for me, this was the oh my God moment. Now, obviously, we've all been with our mates. We all think that we're 10 men, Dave. All very similar to what the guys are doing, where they're saying one thing to the girls, and with the guys, they're all like, yeah, I'm not fucking bothered. We've all done it. We've all got cocky and gone, you know what? I am going to stay out for that extra fucking beer, that extra pint. I'm not bothered what happens. I'm a man. I'm a fucking hero. All the guys think I'm a fucking legend. They're all high-fiving me and all that. And I've done that before, Dave. Only once in my marriage, and I'll never do it again, Dave. Let's just say that. So Josh gets carried away, doesn't he? Thinks he's a smart ass. He's doing fucking Magic Mike. He's, My Pony and all his bollocks. He's thinking he's fucking Dirt Diggler. And he picks fucking poor Shannon. He's there absolutely ready. She's like, you've got to pay for this shit and all that. And he picked Amy. And at that point, Josh has got no context of the fact that the girls are doing the recoupling next. He's just gone with his mates, high five. He runs off like a little kid, like he's just done knock a door run. And then all of a sudden it dawns on him later, like, oh shit, I might be out the villa now. Not like Shannon. Then he's on proper fucking PR, he's a proper campaign then to get himself back on. But it was brilliant and my jaw dropped. But then afterwards I'm thinking, you prick, you've not thought this through. You've not read the room at all, Josh. I thought it was brilliant.
That's what's good about this series, because I don't think in the UK this season, I think they're all just a bit too self-aware. They've seen the previous seasons, they've studied them, they don't do things that are going to be quite so controversial. I guess it's a little bit of a mirror though, isn't it, with Chloe pulling Toby in the UK season?
Yes.
It's a little bit like that, but the person doing the pulling, if you like, in that situation was Chloe, where she was in like a friendship couple. So you're like, well, it's okay for her to roll the dice. Josh, he's got a corker right there in Shannon, and then, rolls the dice with Amy. So it is a little bit more of a gamble, isn't it? And it does look, to be honest, Chris, I'd have come on here and I'd have said, oh, he's fucked right up there. And even though at the end, you get Shannon and she picks Josh, I mean, what a fucking choice that is. The guy who's just fucking humiliated you, or Joe Exotic. It's like fucking not really a choice, is it? But it's because of this chat. So apparently there's this podcast called Call Her Daddy. It's a couple of girls, and apparently they give advice to other girls on how to gaslight gameplay and manipulate men. And, Lauren's saying, oh, it's, she's displaying some of that behavior. And Josh is actually just playing her at her game. So I'm intrigued, Chris, on how this actually plays out, because on the face of it, he's fucked up. But I'm open that, okay, maybe he's playing a game that I'm just not as familiar with.
Yeah, and I've heard of that podcast because the two hosts are on one of my podcasts that I like, The Fighter and the Kid, about 18 months ago. And they're very, very in your face. They know it's very good, actually, Dave. It's one of the most highly rated podcasts, I think. One of the in the last year or so. Yeah, I've only ever listened to bits of it. But yeah, I am aware of the podcast. But brilliant. You've got to listen to it, guys. But I will say, Dave, that, Josh, I think with Josh, he did all this, but also, as I said a minute ago, it was all to do with the fact that he was like, oh shit, I could be going now. I mean, Cinco won the actual thing, but when it come out, it was Josh just looked shocked that Shannon had the nerve to have a go at him. And I thought she put him in his place perfectly. When she walked off, she was like, well, what do you expect? And he was like, teary-eyed, and I'm thinking, well, you've just snogged another girl right in front of your, I know they're probably a fake fucking Love Island relationship, but for this show, they're together, and he's just literally walked past her and picked another girl from nowhere, and then he's then he's upset that she's upset with him. I'm like, well, in real life, you couldn't just go and snog another girl while your missus is next to you. You'd get a fucking winger, wouldn't you, Dave, or something? So, and I think Shannon would fucking lever him. So I thought she was right. I thought she was absolutely right. But then to compound things, fucking Joe Exotic just slides on over the little snaky fucker, and he's like, oh, that's terrible. He's a good friend of mine, Josh. But I'm like, okay, pal, yeah. You just fucking throw in your Hail Mary before you fucking get booted off. I wasn't buying
that. Christian does seem like the sort, doesn't he? He's like swooping in there after, hoping for a rebound shack.
Yeah, of course he is. Of course he knows. He's playing the game, Dave, and he knows what's coming. But yeah, it's very bizarre. I mean, what did you think? Because I thought Shannon dealt with him perfectly.
Yeah, I think given the situation that she was in, I think she told him how it was. She was like, go and speak to, go and pull Amy for a chat. And so I don't think, rather than the first half where she was a bit frosty, for no real good reason, I don't think, other than just being a bit of a diva. But after that kiss, then, yeah, she didn't really do anything wrong. And like I say, she was unfortunately left with a choice where she knows she's a bit pissed off, but she also knows that there's something there with Josh. So it's either keep him in and then see if they can work through it, in which case Josh's behavior might be slightly validated. Maybe if it was an intentional manipulative thing, or have to share a bed with little Joe Exotic. So I feel like even if Josh is playing her own game, he's doing this to keep up the drama because she kind of loves the drama. I think if he's doing that, he's playing a dangerous game because, if a cool guy comes in there, great looking guy, great personality, and makes a beeline for Shannon, then, I think that relationship will be tested a lot more. But yeah. Chris, I think this is the kind of drama that we love on Love Island, isn't it?
Perfect. And then we get the recoupling, and Amy, coincidentally, is the first one up, and she picks Jeremy. And I do think it was a bit disrespectful because they were literally trying to rip each other's clothes off with that kiss when it was a bit dramatic and fucking, daytime TV kiss, but they did all that crap. Then we got Kieran Will. They thought, I'll tell you what.
In daytime, nighttime TV.
Well, yeah, depends what channels you're watching. But then you've got Kieran Will.
They watch nights.
Oh, yeah, I remember that day. Anyway, let's say no more on that. But Kieran Will, same thing. They went for it. And then you've got Kasha and Cinco. Now, I tell you what, if I was the producer, the one would have been to pick Trina there, Dave. If you just want to absolutely fuck the show up to see if she picked Cinco, that would have been the one. But they sort of give the whole drama thing. They weren't quick enough with that. But Kasha picked Cinco. They're together. There's a big kiss and everything. No problem with that. I'll just see how that plays out. Olivia picks Giovanni, which is fine because they'd had a bit of a chat. She said she's warming to. I'm not buying it, but
I thought I like that pick. Because I didn't really like how Olivia seemed to write him off straight away and basically dissed him like that. She was a bit surprised that he likes reading. It's like she's put him in this shithouse pigeonhole. But I did like what she said about she basically wouldn't normally make this pick because she doesn't like. She wants to protect herself. She doesn't want to leave herself vulnerable. And so as she was saying that, I'm thinking, well, you ain't going for Christian because I can think Christian's more the sort of person you normally go for. And so, yeah, sure enough, she picked Giovanni, and there was definitely more chemistry with them. That kiss in the BabeWatch challenge definitely helped. Gave her a few flutters, I suspect. And, I'm interested to see where that goes because that was the braver of the two choices that she had. The other one was to go with Christian.
Yeah. And that's the way it had to play out, didn't it, Dave, at the end of the day? I mean, you've got Shannon. I mean, Trina picked Corey. They had one conversation, and I think Corey and Trina deserve to be in there longer. I think Corey's not shown anything. They've not had enough even airtime for him to show anything, really.
Corey's too nice.
Yeah. Good
Corey's
guy.
even said he didn't want to step on the toes of the other guys. It's fucking Love Island. You've got to, maintain a friendship, and that is difficult when you're all you're in the same pool, trying to compete for the same relationships and stuff. But he's so respectful of everyone else. He's not actually getting in there and having conversations and things and trying to see if he's got some chemistry and connections with anyone. So I actually think that I kind of like that Trina conversation. Gotta say, Chris, I still think Trina's only got eyes for Cinco. But in the meantime, Corey's, he's a good-looking lad. Great body on him again, hasn't he? And it'll be interesting to see if that goes anywhere. But I still think the drama is going to be a triangle between Cache, Trina, and Cinco.
Yeah, I think so. And obviously, we said before, Shannon picks Josh by default. He was walking around wanting as if nothing had happened, following around as if she has to be. She picked him. So I don't know how that's going to go. But the preview for tomorrow's episode literally was Shannon crying up the stairs. So what the hell is going to go on there? I don't know.
More drama, Chris. And I can't wait.
Exactly. Unbelievable. But anyway, Dave, brilliant episode again. And big thanks to everyone, as always, to get in contact on our Patreons, patreon.com/CD RealityCast. Thank you guys for supporting us. And we'll do the old roll call of honor. We've got Dee Dee, Hannah, Ed, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy Green, Haley, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Kent Gustafson. So thank you guys. Big thanks as always, Charlene over on Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Get over there, join the Facebook channel, guys, and we all just talk about reality stuff, everything that we're watching and some more. And I keep seeing, Dave, this advert for this show, The Players. Oh my fucking God, we have got to watch this. I'm not saying we're going to podcast it because we haven't got any fucking time left, but that show looks delightful.
If there was a dial tone on this, you'd currently be hearing bing.
This person has blocked your number. Please do not contact them. Yeah, no.
Players.
Honestly,
that's not F-Boy Island, is it? Is this a different one?
No, that's it. That's the one. F-Boy Island. Yeah. Oh my God, Dave.
I mean, we thought Too Hot to Handle was the bottom of the barrel. Oh no, sweet sir, it is not.
And I tell you what, Dave, I am there.
Yeah. Wherever there's dregs at the bottom of the barrel, we'll be there.
Put my name down. Chris Phelps will be there signing up. Dave, I am watching this from the start. It starts on the 29th of July, and I am all over this, my friend.
Yeah, but we're not podcasting on it.
No, we're not podcasting it. Not a fucking chance. No.
What fucking craziness is this? Putting in a bunch of fuckboys and a bunch of so-called nice guys. How much of a nice guy can you be if you're going on a show called Fuckboy Island? I don't know.
No.
And basically, the aim of the game is to trick the girls into thinking you're a nice guy, I guess. From the normal nice guys. It's fucking horrendous, and it will be a lot of fun.
It'll be glorious, Dave. Don't say horrendous. It'll be fucking glorious. But anyway.
It'll be horrendous in a kind of No Treat, No Surrender 3 kind of way.
Of course.
It's actually so bad it's good.
Oh, we're definitely watching that. Anyway, thank you as always, guys. And we do appreciate it. If you want to follow us on social media at CD RealityCast, if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So thank you, Dave. We are in the bag at episode 4. This one is rivaling, and I think it's tipping past the UK when I've said it a couple of times at the moment, just for more organic drama. So let's see how it goes on for the rest of the week.
Awesome, mate. And just before we leave, we do have a review in on iTunes from our US store, and it says, so fun. I love listening. They crack me up. It's so witty, and I'm a fan. And that's from Katie May's mom. And that is absolutely brilliant. So, guys, if you can get over to Apple Podcasts and drop us a review, either a nice words or abuse, we read them all out. So that'd be great. And yeah, Chris, another one in the bag. We're in week 2. And like I said at the top of the show, it's boiling up nicely. So can't wait for tomorrow.
Me neither, mate. Right, well, we'll see you tomorrow, everyone.
Bye now.
Bye.